It's the supporters channel member, Robert Bannerman. Oh, remember when we did the first 4 years of the save and we always had loads of money in the bank because of cup runs? Well, now it turns out going full time has financially ruined us. We're losing about 100 grand a month. We're well overdrawn and we could really use another cup run. It's FA Cup first round day. In fact, that's not even true. It's deal with Cambridge day, first of all. We need to stop them in their pursuit of automatic promotion. And I have no idea if we're capable of doing it or not, because our form since the last episode has been bananas. We lost 3-0 to Tranmere. We lost against Bromley in the Virtu Trophy, and it looked like all hope was lost. And then we went away to Doncaster and put 7 goals past them before not being able to score against Crewe at home. And we've now won our last 2 games, beating Chesterfield and Crawley, all of which means we're still sat exactly where you would expect us to be, mid-table, 12th in the league, 14 games played, 21 points on the board, no danger at all of getting relegated, probably no danger at all of getting promoted either. I'm interested to see how far up the goal-scoring charts Day is. Joint 5th top scorer in the league with 8 goals from 14 appearances. So he's doing all right. Clearly, Cambridge have somebody we need to keep an eye out for today, though. He's potentially problematic, and his goals per minutes ratio at Wimbledon is absolutely insane. But yeah, as I was saying in the little intro bit, financially, that's recruitment. Financially, we do have a problem. We've always been in the black throughout the save up until this point. But as you can see, income and expenditure, it's the last day of the month. There is problems in there. We are hemorrhaging money, losing about £150,000 a month. We're already nearly £400,000 overdrawn. For context, if we were to have a clean run through to the 3rd round of the FA Cup without any more monthly losses, if it was anything like last season's one, it would be just enough for us to maybe break even where we are now. But obviously that takes us to January. That would be 2 more months of £150,000 a month losses. So a run to the 3rd round and then getting knocked out by a championship team, and we might get to middle of January only £300,000 overdrawn. We basically need a massive Manchester United away, Arsenal away, Liverpool or what. Liverpool might not even have a big enough ground. We need somewhere where we're going to make £1 million, and then we might not be too overdrawn by the end of the season. I am starting to worry that selling Johnny Day might become a day, because financially it's a problem, and he's our only really significant saleable asset. And we would be struggling without him, that's for sure. But let's not worry about the off-the-field stuff. That's not really my concern. I'm merely the handsome first-team manager, and my job is to throw a spanner in the works of Cambridge, and we're going to do that with this 11 players. It's Casagrande in goal, a back four of Patterson, Brown, Noble and Connor, Cook and Farkas in midfield, Archer on the left, Rhys Dottin on the right, Thomas and Day up front. And Cambridge are a very good team, which is a sentence that just sticks in the throat a little bit. It doesn't feel right coming out. It's a weird one to say. I have to keep reminding myself, obviously we are League Two, so they should be good in League Two. We're at their level. They should enjoy being at their level. But yeah, it's not fun. And looking at a league table that has them near the top of it, very much not fun. I have no real ambition of us getting promoted this season. I just want to ruin their day and ruin their season as much as possible. So that's the motivation for this match. I don't know if my players share my distaste for all things dirty orange. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. We're playing some nice football here, and Johnny Day has got in behind. Johnny Day, surely Johnny Day it's gone down as an own goal. That was a Johnny Day special as far as I was concerned. That is what he feeds off. The ball over the top, getting one-on-one with the keeper. He rarely misses from this situation. I mean, he did hesitate a little bit, took it a little bit wide, which is why it's ended up needing the deflection. I think he was actually trying to square it to Thomas, but it's taken a big deflection off of the defender. It's in the back of the net. We don't care how we do it. If anything, it's more amusing if Cambridge are the architects of their own downfall. So I'm up for it being an own goal that ruins their afternoon. We just need Wimbledon and Barnsley to have good days so we can end we could end the match with Cambridge not in an automatic promotion spot. That would be a delight. But they are trying to get things moving again, although they've done a long throw and a flick on and had nobody chasing it. We're looking for that ball for Day again, who gets in behind again, and Thomas is there. And it's a slightly more extravagant version of what we tried the first time, but it's such a profitable route to success for us. The ball over the top. Johnny Day is absolutely ruining that Cambridge defender, and it's just the first time cross. Thomas is there, and Thomas has scored nearly as many goals as Day this season. I think Day has 10 and Thomas is now on 9. So they are forming quite the partnership, and we're 2-0 up at the Shabby, and everybody is having a lovely day. We've given away a penalty. No, we haven't. It's a free kick. Oh, even the referee's on my side. Lovely stuff. They are going to shoot from the edge of the area, and Casagrande needs to make sure he's covering that side of the goal that they shot towards. They saw the massive gap there just as easily as I did, but luckily they're shooting. Well, it was Cambridge shooting. They're shooting like a Cambridge team, which I guess is fair enough. Give me a 2-0 lead at half-time and I'll be happy. I tell you what, in addition to just having fun messing with Cambridge, this is good for a couple of other reasons. Obviously, I said we're not in with any... We're not actually... They've done a triple change at half-time. They're panicking. As much as I say we're not in a promotion race ourselves, we're looking for that ball for Day again. We know how dangerous it is. I wonder if that defender is somebody they've taken off. I think it was a number 31 that he kept ruining. So I don't think they have taken him off, which is weird. We're now trying to do it the other way round with Thomas. Thomas drilled it across to Day. Oh, he's hit the base of the post. It was a lovely effort. A reverse of the normal route, but this partnership gets better and better between Day and Thomas. And what I've been trying to say is we've won our last couple of games. This would be 3 wins in a row, including an away win against one of the best teams in the division. And I think if this ends like this, it becomes harder and harder for me to say we're not in a promotion race. Maybe they're going to make it less hard for me to say things like that by getting back into the game. But the other nice thing of beating Cambridge today, a third nice thing, is that it puts us in great form going into the FA Cup first round. And as previously mentioned, FA Cup, quite important to the survival of the football club. Archer on the left-hand side. He's got the overlap if he wants to use him. Patterson is there. Big, deep cross. Thomas, I mean, he had time and space to pick his spot, and he's kind of snatched at it. And we've missed a couple of good opportunities now. That one from Day, that one from Thomas just now. If we end up not winning, as much as I love this front two, if we end up not winning today, we've only got ourselves to blame because we have had some chances, as demonstrated by the XG. We've had opportunities and we have fluffed our lines a couple of times. So less of that, please. Right, Farkas is going to come off for Burke, and we'll swap those two over. We're also going to take off Archer. Nelson can come on for him. And then for my final trick, Lucky comes on at the back. And it's 3 pretty standard changes, 3 pretty interchangeable players. We've got decent strength and depth in a few positions. They're definitely positions where we have it. Less so in some of the other areas of the team. Like we literally have 2 strikers who've scored for us this season. They're both on the pitch. If either of them is unavailable, we are nowhere near as good. And Casagrande keeps us ahead in the game, but Cambridge are very much knocking on the door. If we had the little momentum thing there, that's what we were seeing ourselves in the match engine. Cambridge getting back into the game after we've pretty much dominated the entire thing up until this point. I guess this is one of those occasions where you use a shout, but I've never known what shout to use in a situation like this. And I don't think I'm going to magically learn now. Do we do something crazy and change the front two? Because they're both tiring. No, that would be insane. We'll bring Moncur on for Thomas. And then we've got McGrail, who can come on the right-hand side. And just fingers crossed, we don't mess up from here. We definitely deserve it. I mean, what do we say here? Focus, no pressure, praise. I mean, I'm going to risk a focus with 3 minutes to go. And if we end up conceding a goal, I'm blaming you lot for making me use shouts. Right, we've got a corner here. It's going to be Brown to take. Love having a centre-back taking the corner. It's bonkers. But Brown floats it over, looking for Burke, I think, at that far post. Doesn't get anywhere near him, but it's back with Brown again. And now Nelson! They just needed to focus. That's man management, boys and girls. It's Cambridge 1, Bedford 3. What a time to be alive. The two cities I graduated in, by the way, which is nice. I didn't go to Cambridge. I did the other one. But, you know, I like to say I went to university in Cambridge. Anglia Ruskin. Come on, boys and girls. I don't know what's going on. I'm just very happy that we've beaten Cambridge. Lovely stuff. Right. Now, we'll have a quick look at the league table. We're up to 9th. We are kind of in it, aren't we? They're still in 2nd, frustratingly. But now all our focus, all our attention goes towards the FA Cup. And we're going into it in some pretty delicious form. So, big FA Cup game. We are at home against League One Bristol Rovers. They're in mid-table in League One. We've already been knocked out of the Carabao Cup by League One opposition this season, but we didn't go into that game in anywhere near this kind of form. So with it being so important financially, we're not fiddling too much, not doing the normal cup rotation. We're basically, in fact, I think that is the exact same 11 we used in the previous match. And let's hope we can be just as good against Bristol Rovers as we were against Cambridge. Just cross everything, boys and girls. I know the FA Cup in general, I'm not that bothered about, but it's the money that comes with it. We really, really need it this season. It could potentially be the difference between us being able to keep Johnny Day or having to sell him. And obviously, we want to be able to keep him forever, or at least until he stops scoring and I discard him as if he never did anything for me. In the same way we did Terrell Whitaker, who, by the way, can't even find anymore. I assume he's retired. I don't know how player search for retired players works in FM26, but I have tried typing in his name and nothing comes up. So I can only assume that means he is finished. He is retired. He is no more, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think does kind of vindicate the decision to discard him when we did. He was good for that one National League North season, but he wasn't going to be a long-term prospect for us, because if he was going to be, someone else at that level would have picked him up and he'd be scoring goals for them, and that isn't what's happened. So, as ever, Kev's a genius. Can we win this football match, please? I've decided I quite like match momentum. I don't like the fact that we're well behind on it, but I do quite like it as a graph. Maybe I'm becoming one of these people who wishes we still had all the graphs in the game. Look at this from Johnny Day. He is so good at getting up against those left fullbacks. He creates so much danger down that right-hand side. Unfortunately, it doesn't lead to a chance this time, but Reece Dottin slots it into him again. Once again, he gets in behind, kind of in between the centre-back and the left-back. Just the danger area for Johnny Day. And you feel like this is another team that might just let him exploit that gap a little bit as the game goes on. Reece Dottin trying to get him into that area again. And it's Day again getting into awkward positions. He's such a pain in the backside to play against, I'm sure. But it's a bit frustrating that we are getting him into some good positions and not really being able to carve out a decent chance from it. We've had 5 shots, but none of them have been on target. We've only had 30% possession. We are not a team that likes to keep the ball very much. It is very much get it to one of the wide players, whether it's a fullback or a winger, and have them hit it relatively early today to get him in behind, and then he can either score for himself or square it for Thomas. I don't know why we bother playing with a left winger. We might as well not. He's literally only there for the occasional nod it in at the far post when Day overhits his cross. But, I mean, as demonstrated by the ratings, I guess, poor old Archer may as well be an extra body in midfield on a day like today where we're getting dominated for possession. I am going to offer a little bit of encouragement. We've started the game relatively well. We've started the second half very well, but we still don't have anything to show for it. And with the FA Cup now having its stupid no replay rule, I think it does it go straight to penalties, or is it extra time and then penalties today if it remains level? But obviously we want to get into the second round. We need the money. Give me the money. Even if we don't end up drawing a big team, we need the prize money from winning each round. Right. We're going to drop Thomas out to the left wing, and we're not going to bring what's his face on because he's not on the bench. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Gio Smith to play on the left wing as a different option. Strachan can come on at left back. And then I can't remember. These are the two wingers I signed in the summer, aren't they? I've changed my my colours, by the way. Purple means natural. It just stands out to me a little bit more. If you're wondering why the colours look weird on here, purple is natural. But we are going to change the right winger. And I think we're going to bring on Ward because he's the one I signed. The Woods is the one my my director of football signed. Ultimately, we both proved we're not capable of identifying a good winger. But luckily, Rhys Dottin is still here, although he's not had a very productive day today. That's a problem. That's a big problem because getting knocked. I mean, I know they're a League One team. They're supposed to beat us, and we've played quite well. But we can't afford to get knocked out. We've not been knocked out this early in the FA Cup since like the first season, I don't think. Immediate reply? No. Thomas got a free header in the penalty area. He's got to do better with that. None of the attackers are playing particularly well today. We are going to demand more, even though they're a team we wouldn't necessarily expect to beat. And we're going to try and throw on some more attackers, I guess. Who have we got? Bruno Sena and Woods. I think they're both coming on. And we're just going to hurl players forward and hope. So we're going to stick him up here. We're going to stick him in there, and we're going to stick him there. This is me trying to win the football match, boys and girls. So you go up there. You there. You there. Actually, we might do something like that when we're defending. Does that work? Can they all get to their relevant places? They can. Do we have one of these guys drop off a little bit? Potentially to there. That probably makes sense. Can he even get back there, or does that become too far? There you go. We'll do that. I mean, you can't tell me I'm not trying to go for it. Let's see if it's enough. I don't know what I'll do if we score, because there's no way to turn that back into a normal system, is there? I love the in possession, out of possession stuff for situations like this, though, because we can go absolutely bananas like that, but actually still have something that is capable of defending a bit, which is nice. Right, here is Ward. He's got a lot of space, and Johnny Day has also got a lot of space and more options to aim for in the middle. Farkas is one of them, and we have scored, and now I don't know what to do. I guess we just stay doing this. We might just go to an attacking version of this rather than a very attacking. But we've got to try and win the game. It's the FA Cup. Try and win the game, chaps. Encourage them now. Come on, let's do that again. Oh, my word. Imagine if we do it again. I'll go down in history as a tactical genius. We're trying a longish throw. Cena with the flick on. Oh, my word. That, boys and girls, is how you do tactics in FM26. That is the... I don't think I've ever known a tactical change make that much difference to the way a football match was going. Boys and girls. That is absurd. But, oh my word, it's so important. Because we get 41 grand straight away. And then, hopefully, I mean, what we really want, it's a little bit different from when we were non-league. What we really want now is a winnable second round match so that we can get the big third round match. We'll find out what happens tomorrow, though. That was bonkers. Lovely stuff. Tactics. Absolute tactics. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.